You then have to ask yourself, what does the UN consider unsustainable? And in a 1991 quote from the UN Undersecretary Maurice Strong, he quotes, "It is clear that current lifestyles and consumption patterns of the affluent middle class involving high meat intake, consumption of large amounts of frozen and convenient foods, ownership of motor vehicles, numerous electric household appliances, home and work air conditioning, expansive suburban housing are not sustainable," end quote. The town's consultants' nearly verbatim copying of a definition of sustainability from the United Nations document for inclusion in Danville's general plan should elicit immediate concern from you as council members. On February 7th, I emailed the town council copies of documentation alerting you to the worrisome connections between DCE planning, ABAG, the Bay Area Alliance, and their adoption of the United Nations definition for sustainable development, including the endorsement of the International Earth Charter. My continuing concern is that the town is prepared to make decisions without a full understanding of the assumptions and implications built by your consultants into the planning documents. If the town council intends to align our community with the United Nations plan and its foundational definition of sustainability, then you should declare so and such intentions verbally and in writing, properly crediting and sourcing the origin of the definition within the general plan. Otherwise, the plan and the SAP current definition of sustainability is unsustainably misleading. And therefore, we are asking the town to cure this problem by taking the following actions. Remove the word sustainable from the general plan and EIR and go back to the language and direction from the previous general plan. Danville can continue to conserve and preserve without this misleading and controversial language in our plan. And number two, reject the adoption of the SAP plan entirely. This plan is, according to the town's last meeting, optional and common sense, and therefore unnecessary. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
I have that general question, I think that Heather posed with respect to using the definition for sustainability that's being used as the definition itself has almost become a buzzword. Is that going to tie us into future problems or laws that are passed by using that definition?
What word is that?
Well, that's the whole definition of sustainability is being able to not use up the resources needed for future generations. And I don't have a problem with that concept. I have a problem with if it's something that's become a buzzword that's going to show up in other laws and cause us problems in the future.
Well, I wouldn't want, I don't care where the definition is from. Yeah. I don't want to cite any definition because I want to be tied to what that organization is about. I don't have any problem with what it says. I mean, I don't care who said it, but yeah. I don't want to put in there, by the way, it's quoted from something because then it's tying us back to that organization.
Well, that is the issue. Yeah. It is in here all over it.
Right, but I don't have a problem, like you said, with what it says, but I don't want to cite anybody.
Oh, no, I don't want to cite it. I'm questioning, should we use it identically? Because then when the people see it, they'll associate it with the same definition that we don't quite have. I mean, sustainable doesn't even show up as I can find in the 2010 plan, except under sustainable habitat. So
it shows up in the California Green Code. It's coming out January 1st in the new International Building Code.
That was a year ago, no? Is that in there?
No, the new version of it.
Another version of it.
But my point is it all has that in there, and they don't reference because nobody wants to reference anybody else's issue. It's kind of like looking up the word.
That's my point. I don't want to reference it.
What's the definition of should? Well, you can look it up in Webster's and it says ought to, but not necessarily will be. Sustainability has that kind of, and I don't want to have any other reference. I don't think any of us are disagreeing with what it says. I wouldn't make any change. I wouldn't either. But no references.
No, I don't want to reference. I didn't even want to use their identical language was the point. I don't want to reference or cite. I just don't want it to be identical, that's all.
Concept is good.
Pardon?
Yeah, I don't.
I guess I'd say that the 2010 plan has a lot of things in it that are referenced in this section. Whether it's air quality or water quality, et cetera. And somehow they managed to do it without citing sustainable all the time. So I think since I can't read what Rob wrote, it's way too small for me. Thank you, but my contexts are set for computer, and this is not. This is small map. So I would suggest that what his suggestion was that when we can refer to clean water and efficiency and air quality, rather than using the word, that's more clear going forward, because that's a word, those are words that we all know and have had here for 30 years. So. But I can't tell you specifically in his pages which ones do that.
So do I hear anybody else that wants to make any changes to that effect?
Otherwise,
No.
you have to read it if you
Okay.
I can't read it.
All right, so I don't see that we're making any change in that area.